This video is for all breastfeeding mothers who have PCOS and are struggling with a low breast milk supply, or you have a low breast milk supply but you don't know whether you have PCOS or you don't know what is causing the problem. Then I also encourage you to watch this video. So I want you to just give me 5-10 minutes thereby so that I can take you through how this condition, how this problem could be contributing to a low breast milk supply and what you should do. So without further ado, let us just get started. Welcome to our very short tutorial. I just want you to give me at most 10 minutes, and by the end of this very short tutorial you're going to be able to know what you're going to do if you have PCOS, or if you're struggling with a low breast milk supply and you don't know where to start. This is a very important topic that you should not really ignore. I've also done a couple of other videos especially on this subject of low breast milk supply, because I have seen how much this is affecting so many mothers out there, and I want you to breastfeed, to be able to breastfeed for a long period of time. I'm not bragging, but for me, I was able to breastfeed my 2 babies for over 30 months without ever experiencing a drop in the milk supply. And in as much as, yes, I don't have PCOS, but there are also other moms out there who don't have PCOS but they're struggling with a low breast milk supply. So some of these things that we are going to cover, I knew them and I applied them, and that is why I was able to breastfeed for such a prolonged period of time without ever experiencing a low breast milk supply. But if you have PCOS, then you need a little bit more effort. That does not mean that you cannot breastfeed like any other mom. You can be able to breastfeed like any other mom and even not struggle with a low breast milk supply if you can know how to navigate this condition. So there are a number of reasons how PCOS causes a low breast milk supply. We're gonna cover all of these 7 ones, and I want us to start low prolactin response. When you have PCOS, you're gonna have a low prolactin response. And what is prolactin? So prolactin is a hormone that is responsible with breast milk production. So breast milk production. So when there is a low response of the prolactin hormone, then you know that you're gonna have a low breast milk supply. So that is how PCOS does that. So because prolactin is the key hormone that is responsible for milk production, and women with prolactin have blunted prolactin responses to breastfeeding, meaning that their bodies don't produce enough prolactin. So because your body is not producing enough prolactin, therefore you cannot be able to produce enough breast milk, and that is why here it says this reduces milk synthesis over time. And that is why it's so important for you to understand how you're going to be able to up your prolactin hormone so that the milk synthesis is not affected. So that is number 1 reason how PCOS affects breast milk production or causes a low breast milk supply. And number 2 reason that I want us to talk about is, so number 2 reason is, I know I mentioned this, is this high testosterone. You have high testosterone, and PCOS is characterized by elevated androgens, for example the testosterone, and this normally interferes with breast tissue development during pregnancy. So if the breast tissue is not well developed, then it means that the capacity for you to even hold enough breast milk or even to make more breast milk is affected, and insufficient glandular tissue, that breast tissue, results in lower milk production capacity, as I've talked about. And don't worry about this, you can be able to balance these hormones so that they can favor breastfeeding. So that is another way how PCOS causes a low breast milk supply by through this. When this hormone testosterone is so high, then there is insufficient glandular tissue that results in lower milk production capacity, and that affects how much breast milk you are producing. Let us see number 3, how this affects. Number 3 reason, it's due to estrogen imbalance. And how so? Women with PCOS often have higher than normal estrogen levels, so your estrogen levels are higher than normal levels than a person who does not have PCOS, and this can again suppress prolactin. And we said that prolactin is the hormone that is responsible for breast milk production and delay the onset of full milk production, which is called lactogenesis. So when you have high estrogen imbalance, then you're gonna also suffer from lactogenesis, or breast milk formation. So tell me in the comment section, when you got your baby, when you delivered, when you went through the CS, or you delivered naturally, after how many days did your breast milk come? When did you start producing breast milk, especially if you've had PCOS? So high estrogen levels also inhibits the action of oxytocin, and this hormone, this oxytocin, is responsible for milk ejection. That is the milk letdown. So you have the milk, the prolactin helps to mix the milk, and then the oxytocin is the hormone that is responsible for making sure that that milk is flowing. I hope you can understand. So when you have high estrogen, or when you have an estrogen imbalance, then it's gonna inhibit the action of oxytocin as well as suppressing prolactin. And when the prolactin is suppressed and then the oxytocin is also inhibited, then you're not making milk, and you're not also ejecting milk, which is a problem. I hope we are together up to there. Another reason is insulin resistance and metabolic dysregulation. And how so? Many women with PCOS normally have insulin resistance, and this can disrupt the balance of prolactin, cortisol, which is a stress hormone, which is, when cortisol, this is the stress hormone. When this hormone is high, even in a normal healthy, I'm not saying you're not healthy, in a normal mom with no condition, when the cortisol hormone is high, this affects breast milk production. So when a mom with PCOS have insulin resistance, and this insulin resistance disrupts the balance of prolactin, again it disrupts the balance of cortisol and oxytocin, and all of these are necessary hormones that are necessary for milk production and letdown. And insulin resistance also contributes to chronic inflammation, and this normally negatively affects breast tissue function, as we talked about earlier on. So when you have insulin resistance, when your insulin is not being well balanced, well regulated, either through foods or medication, and you're breastfeeding, then it's going to affect these 3 hormones, the prolactin, the cortisol, and the oxytocin, and it's gonna throw them out of balance, and that could actually be causing a low breast milk supply. Okay, another very, very, very important thing that you have to notice is thyroid dysfunction. PCOS is linked to an increased risk of hypothyroidism, which is called the Hashimoto's. I know you've ever heard about Hashimoto. And low thyroid hormone levels, they impair again prolactin production, and they reduce milk synthesis. So if you've seen the pattern here, there are only actually 2 hormones that are being impacted so greatly by PCOS. That is the oxytocin hormone and the prolactin hormone. And also, let us not forget about the insulin resistance, that is so important. And also, all of these other hormones are being thrown out of balance. But for breastfeeding, the 2 hormones that are being impacted so greatly is the prolactin hormone and the oxytocin hormone. And if you can be able to regulate your insulin, your thyroid, and all of these, which can be done, by the way, you can be able to balance these 2 hormones, the prolactin and the oxytocin, and you can be able to breastfeed normally as just like another mom. So what can you do? If you have PCOS, the very first baseline thing that you need to do is be able to balance all of these. For example, your insulin need to be balanced, and you can balance this through medication and also through diet and lifestyle. I know you know that. And then the other thing that you can do is by balancing the breast milk, uh, the breastfeeding hormones, that is the oxytocin and also the prolactin hormone. If you can be able to do this, then you will be at a better place. You can be able to breastfeed normally like another mom, and you can learn the direct breastfeeding principles or the techniques and also the pumping techniques to do them correctly so that you can get the best out of them, because there's a way you can learn direct breastfeeding and also pumping that actually can help to ignite or reignite the prolactin hormone and also the oxytocin. And especially if you're having if you're balancing the insulin and all of those others through diet, especially, and if, or maybe you are still on your medication, which is still fine, you can be able to breastfeed normally. So what do I want you to do? I want you to get information that are packaged for you. There's a link in the video description. I'm gonna show you how to maximize your direct breastfeeding technique and your pumping technique, and also I've also included how to support your breastfeeding if you have PCOS. There's the link in the video description. I want you to get it. I want you to follow that information that is written there so that you can be able to, improve your breastfeeding, and so that this problem of low breast milk supply can actually just disappear. And I've also included lots of diet plans that will support this condition, and there's so much in there for you that can actually help to prevent all of these causes of low breast milk supply when you have PCOS.